Hey, welcome to the Wisconsin Drunken History Podcast. We are your hosts, Eric Sturgeon.
And I'm Russell Sari.
This podcast is about all things Wisconsin, history, music, culture, and beer. Although we don't often use strong language, the content is not intended for young audiences, so listener discretion is advised.
If you love the bluegrass music you hear in this intro, please check out Dang It's from Madison, Wisconsin by visiting their website, dang-its.com. Now on to the show.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wisconsin Drunken History Podcast, your weekly dose of the Dairy State. We are your hosts, Eric.
And I'm Russ.
Today we are talking about the origin story of one of our favorite foods. We're talking about the hamburger, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we will talk about Seymour, Wisconsin, and Charlie Negreen. And we also have great Wisconsin music from Whiskey Farm, a beer review, another edition of the infamous How Many Locos You At, and an interview with Broken Bat Brewery. Remember, as always, if you have not already, please share, like, rate, review, subscribe, all of that stuff. Hit the bell on YouTube so that way you can be notified when we are dropping new content. It definitely helps us get a little bit more exposure each and every time, but also gets the exposure to all of the guests that we have on, whether that be the breweries or the musical guests as well. So without further ado, here's our story about the origin of the hamburger.
So like our hero, Randy Bobandy, the assistant trailer park supervisor, we love the hamburger. We are talking about the controversial question of where did the hamburger start? Well, we believe, as well as many, that the first hamburger was actually started right in our own backyard, Seymour, Wisconsin. If you haven't been to Seymour, go and check it out. Every year they hold a burger festival, and who doesn't love a good burger? You know?
And now make it a festival. I'm in.
I've chomped some burgers. They also have a hamburger memorabilia museum, along with a large statue of the man we are talking about today, Charlie Negreen. The story goes that in 1885, a 15-year-old boy named Charlie Negreen had a wagon that was pulled by oxen where he was selling homemade meatballs at the Outgamey Fair. He realized that the meatball was not the easiest thing to eat while walking around the fair, and the meatballs were just way too messy for someone to eat. And here's where our young businessman made a discovery that would go down in history. He realized if he smashed this meatball between two pieces of bread, it would solve the issue. Negreen also claimed to have been given the name to the sandwich called the hamburger, the name coming from Hamburg steak, a ground beef variety, because it would be recognizable to the large Germanic population that lives in our state. Charlie was also known as a great promoter of his little business. It was said to draw in crowds. He would sing, play music, and tell jokes to draw in the grounds. He was also known in Appleton, Wisconsin, where he owned an ice cream parlor. He was said to travel to fairs all around northeastern part of Wisconsin selling his masterpiece sandwich. Here's where the controversy comes into play. The competitors of the other ones who also claim to have the hamburger as their own. And the first one we're going to talk about today is the Menches brother in Akron, Ohio. Their story is that at the Erie County Fair in 1885, the brothers who had run out of pork sausage had to go to a local butcher who gave them ground beef. So the brothers seasoned the meat with coffee and brown sugar and named the burger after Hamburg, New York. If you are in Akron, Ohio, go to and check out their restaurant, which is actually still in operation, called the Menches Brothers Restaurant.
Nice. Yeah. That sounds pretty good, too. I have noticed a lot of... I've been watching a lot of the Food Network during the pandemic here, and one of the things that they do use is like coffee as a maybe to season or just add flavor, not necessarily like maybe like a crust or something on it, but just to give it that little bit of, bite.
Yeah, like a little flavor, a little bitterness to it,
Exactly,
it's kind of
bitterness.
Good
word.
So then our second competitor we have to mention is the Lewis Lunch story out of New Haven, Connecticut. And this is the one that a lot of people think might be the true one. If you look it up on Google, who invented the hamburger, I think this is the one that they list, even though it's later on in the the timeline of the hamburger.
Right.
The story is a story of convenience and the need to make food fast. Fast food, if you will. It's one of the first things where, the story goes that in 1900, a man came into Lewis Lunch in a massive hurry. Louis Lassen, who was looking for something fast to make this guy, he grilled up a steak trimming and put it between two pieces of toast and sent to the customer on his way. If you go to their website, it states cheese, tomato, and onion are the only acceptable garnish. So this one we're just going to toss out, and plus 1900 is way later than the Charlie Negreen story.
Right, exactly. If we just go based on the years on that timeline, we can already say, the Negreen is definitely the earliest version of a burger.
Yeah, and I mean, we're trying to make the claim here. It is the home of the hamburger for us, bro.
Hey, absolutely.
The third competitor we have to talk about is the Uncle Fletcher Davis from Athens, Texas. The story is about Fletcher Davis, or more commonly known as Old Dave or Uncle Fletch. He began making a burger-like sandwich in the mid-1880s, but wasn't until 1904 at the World's Fair held in St. Louis, Missouri, that he made it become a bigger deal. Again, this was 1904, and it is a little bit later in the story. This theory, however, and the time, is supported by McDonald's and Dairy Queen, as he did supply some of these to those chains. Texas legislation actually tried to declare the Lone Star State home of the hamburger, but the boys at Wisconsin Drunken History, nope. No way, brother. And the last one we got to talk about is a Weber's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I've been to a Weber's.
Yep. I think Illinois has a few that I've been to.
Yeah, I know a lot of them kind of closed down, but there are some Weber's still open. And the story goes that in 1891, during the 4th of July, Oscar Weber Billy built his own grill and served up dozens of ground beef burgers on his wife's homemade sourdough buns, along with his superior soda root beer. This is another one that is a little later in the story, way after Charlie. But the restaurant is actually still up, and they're still running after the operation until 1933, long after the burgers were everywhere, when this finally became mainstream and into the public,
Right.
So it's definitely a little after our timeline. So we're still in Charlie territory. So the evidence through word of mouth, Charlie's story, the time period, and documentation lead us to believe that this is where the true origin of the burger happened. There are actually images of him at the fairs. They're like in black and white, and some of them are pretty convincing. I mean,
well, right. I mean, and obviously we know that it's possible to, doctor up photos and certainly make something appear to be old, but there are other ways to corroborate the timeline and the story and the origin, and it appears that Charlie is the beginning of the hamburger.
Yeah, for sure. And to answer that old question, where's the beef?
Right.
It's right here in Wisconsin. And
Seymour.
If you haven't been to Wisconsin, we have some of the best burger chains out there. I mean, Culver's is from our own state.
Yeah.
The Butter Burger is like one of the best burgers. I recommend it. People that come here to visit. And actually, we saw one in Lake Havasu, Culver's.
Oh, yeah,
which is just crazy. I know they're trying to branch out further, but they were started right in our own backyard as well.
Yeah, and I would say, too, if you're in the Milwaukee area, I always say that Oscar's on Pierce, not Oscar's like the chain, but Oscar's on Pierce, it's on Pierce Street, is the best burger in the Milwaukee area. The one of the burgers that they sell there is called the Big O. It's got like bacon, a little bit of chorizo. It's got the jalapeno, that spice. This thing is off the chain.
Yeah, another one kind of close to my home is Lucy's No. 7 Burger Bar.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Holy cow, are they good? They have like stuffed burgers, so you can get like cheese stuffed in the burger. They're phenomenal. And
is that some kind of new technology?
I know, right? This is like alien hamburger technology we're talking about here. So we do believe that Wisconsin should be the title of home of the hamburger, and wanted to bring this back to light so we can get some maybe backing by the state, some legislation, and actually make this once and for all. I mean, you can go and visit the home of the hamburger. You can go up there.
Yeah.
They have a festival every year.
We're going to have to get the Supreme Court involved. This is going to involve the highest powers of the United States legislation. We're going to have to get the title. We want a sign right at the beginning of the entrance to the state.
And how cool would it be to draw in tourism and get like really cool people to come here just to visit that? It'd be great for our state, including burger lovers like Randy Bobandy. We'd love to have him come. We love TPB.
Absolutely,
honestly,
man.
So.
Trailer Park is one of the best. One of the best comedies, man.
I love that show.
It's such a good show.
So, Eric, what is your perfect burger? If you had to make your perfect burger, what would you go for?
Well, honestly, I mean, I prefer them to be a little thinner with a little bit of crisp on the outside of the burger. They're around the outside diameter there. So smash burgers, probably 2 third pound patties on a not a big bun. I'm not a huge
bun guy, huh?
Exactly. I don't want to have too much bread, but I've got to have some sort of like a poppy seed or a sesame seed on the outside of it. Got to have that. And I would say, minimal condiment. I don't mind a little bit of lettuce, tomato, pickle, and then throw on some ketchup and mustard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm more of like, I like the butter burger kind of lightly grilled on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the time, I like to mix the meat. Like I actually have a meat grinder, so I like putting in a little jalapeno, a little cheese in there. So when you actually grill it right on there, it's good to go.
Nice.
Little steak seasoning on there.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on the type I'm going for, like a little awesome barbecue sauce on it, depending on what type of burger I'm going for. But I'm a huge burger fan. I've eaten pretty much every burger from every place.
I'm definitely I'm a fan of the burger.
I've been in some burgers.
Yeah.
Let's just throw it out there.
I've packed down some patties, that's for sure.
So that's going to conclude our main story for today, but stay tuned.
All right. So today's music segment actually comes to us from the Madison, Wisconsin area. The band is called The Whiskey Farm. These guys are phenomenal. Russ, why don't you tell us a little more?
Yeah, so they're a bluegrass band out of Madison, and I actually caught one of their shows, and I heard a couple of more of their songs, and I just kind of fell in love with the sound. Like, I'm a huge bluegrass fan. I know you are as well.
Yeah. And
these guys are definitely like one of those cream of the crop bands from Wisconsin, and we had to feature them. I ended up sending an email off to Whiskey Farm. I contacted them on Facebook, and they gave us a whole bunch of tracks to use. And it was just so hard to go through that library and pick the right one. But we did choose In the Darkness today, which is a great song. Yeah,
this is definitely another one of those really difficult, good catalog of music. Which one do you use? There's just such a good sound and different meaning that hits differently with every single song. So we had to narrow it down a little bit. And so today we've got The Whiskey Farm, In the Darkness.
In the darkness, 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 we can be the light. Oh, my brothers, in the blackest hour of night. Oh, my brothers, the dawn is still in sight. But we have never needed you to fight like we do right now. In the darkness, 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 darkness we can be the light. When it's over, what will people say? Will they look back how it slipped away? Will they remember how we saved the day? You and I. In the darkness, 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 we can be the light. We can be the light. We can be the light.
All right. That again was the Whiskey Farm. The song was In the Darkness. Absolutely phenomenal. Please go check them out. Spotify, YouTube stuff. I know I think they have a Bandcamp as well, and their website as well. So if they have like a merch store or something, go after, get their stuff, help everybody out. We now have another beverage review of the beer kind.
Yeah, so today we're drinking Rush River Brewing Company's Bubble Jack IPA. If you don't know anything about their brewing, they're actually from River Falls, Wisconsin. This one is 6.5 ABV. It's really good, 60 IBUs. It's unfiltered, unpasteurized, meaning everything's kind of still in the bottle. It's very tasty. Has a really good bitterness right up front. I'm getting a lot of the bitter. You're getting the Yakima hops coming through, which is used in this brew. At least that's what I believe is in here. It's what I'm tasting.
Yeah, it definitely. It's not as like you said, you can taste that it's not like a Citra or a Mosaic or anything like that, because you're not getting any of that citrusy kind of feel or like fruitiness. It's more of like a straight down the pipe, like dry hopped Yakima and whatever. I don't know what else they use in there, but
this must be like a Cascade, because I'm getting a little bit of the pininess from that bitter edge.
There's Cascade.
It might be like a Cascade or some kind of other C hop they call them.
But this Bubble Jack, that's good.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
And it's 6.5.
I like that.
6.5%.
You know, I don't mind beer to be overcarbonated, but this one I think is kind of perfect carbonate. It's not too high, not too low. It's not like over bubbly or anything. It's if you're into the bitter beers or you're trying to get out of the box, this is definitely another one where it'd be probably good to start in the IPA range.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say, we sometimes will recommend individuals who have gone, maybe just they don't really enjoy their normal Millers and that kind of stuff anymore, and they're looking to maybe branch out a little bit. This is actually a really good way to sort of step out. You're going to get that bitterness, and maybe you're not super into that yet, but the nice thing is it's tame.
Yeah, it's not overbearing or anything like that.
It won't crush you.
No, and the cool thing is this is actually this beer follows the Rajskabut. That it only has the hops, yeast, water, and barley in it.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice too. I kind of like those beers. I don't mind the flavored beers too, but I do like the standard.
And I think recently you and I have both been a little bit more open to some of the hazies and milkshakes and some of those ones that might introduce a little bit of outside flavoring to the main ingredients, like you said, from the Rajskabut, the German way of making beer. You and I have definitely opened up a little bit more.
No, and that's
'cause
the
we
whole
used
thing.
to be
Yeah,
like
we
straight
just
on.
strict, straight beer. But yeah, we've been kind of branching out, especially for this podcast. We want to get some names out there for you guys to go and try them and let us know what you think. You can always give us feedback.
And I would
we
say
love it.
one of the things that I've noticed about just local grocery stores and stuff like that, they may not carry this stuff because it's harder to move, and their clientele they're not buying that kind of product. I've found that Total Wine is their shelves are stocked, and it's categorized in a way that you can easily locate the Wisconsin beers. They have a whole area for that, so they're only from the Wisconsin area. And then they do have a whole nother section, so that Wisconsin section is the ones that are available year round.
Oh, cool.
Then they have a whole other section called seasonals or limited release. And then again, on each tag in front of the beer, it states a little bit about the beer itself, but then also where the brewery is from. So you can actually just stand right in front of this thing, hands off. You don't have to spin the bottle around or anything. So in these times, COVID, you don't want to be touching everything. The tag right in front on the store shelf gives you everything you need to know about the beer.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, for the weird stuff, I usually go to Festival, kind of the closest
Festival's
one to
another
me.
good one.
They got another good one, and we're lucky enough. We have a great distributor in Wisconsin, Frank's. Actually, one of our buddies used to work for Frank's beverage distribution, and we're pretty lucky in the state that we get this variety of beer too. So if you guys ever come to Wisconsin, you got to try some beer. And I hope you guys, the people from other countries and stuff that listen, I really hope you get a chance to come here and drink a couple brews with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love it.
Hey, we're drinking beers anyway. Might as well have good company.
Right.
All right, now to another How Many Locals You At?
Yeah, this one gets a little frisky, if you want to say.
Yeah, watch out. This one could definitely... earmuffs for the kids.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to get too intense.
We're not going to get too greasy.
This whole thing starts out, hey, most people who get pulled over for drunk driving, they probably keep their pants on.
Yeah, let's be honest. I keep my pants on usually.
But notice how it says most.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple here who they are the exception, not the rule. Most people aren't these two. This Wisconsin couple, ages 33 and 29, the male is 33, the woman is 29. They were being taken to the Oconto County Jail in a police vehicle back in August. This is, I think, actually in 2014. After they were pulled over for a suspected DUI, but instead of getting their story straight or reflecting on their entire night, the two started to just have sex.
Nice. I guess.
The deputy driving the car noticed the backseat tomfoolery and pulled over. Then ordered the two to pull their pants back up. He then moved the gentleman to the front seat.
Cop
which,
block.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Yikes.
Having them both in the same squad car doesn't seem like something that would even happen today at all.
Right, right.
I would imagine that they have at least 2 or 3 deputies on site for the actual call itself. So why would they be in the same squad? I mean, that's ridiculous, right? So in addition to being pulled over and charged with DUI, they're also charged with disorderly conduct and lewd and lascivious behavior. Almost as interesting as the crime itself, the judge's reaction during sentencing was pretty notable, I guess. He lost his judicial cool to express how baffled he was about this case, which doesn't normally happen. If you've ever been in front of a judge, they're generally
pretty strict,
even keeled, just very strict, showing almost no emotion whatsoever. It's just crazy.
Right.
So after admitting to the court that I'm getting to be a pretty old guy and I've never seen that situation in my legal life. So this is a first for this judge.
Nice. I think it'd be a first for many of them, but
so what we don't have here is a whole lot of other actual instances from the DUI itself.
Right.
We don't know
how much they drank, but they were definitely driving drunk. They were drunk enough to pull their pants down.
Drunk enough to do the deed right in the back of a squad car when they're on their way to the police station.
Right, and we didn't say this, but this is actually kind of by Green Bay. It's the town of Newser. It's a smaller community out by Green Bay area.
Yeah, yeah.
So these guys, they're 33, 29 respectively. We're in the Green Bay Newser area, so we know there's some good heavy drinking going on, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And this is April. It's cold.
Yeah, it still is to the point where nothing's thawed yet. I mean, we're probably still getting snow.
Right, so... We got a couple things here. Let's break this down. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, so the only thing that I really have to go off of is the fact that they were stupid enough to untrouser themselves in the back of a squad car on their way to the jail.
Right.
That to me speaks volumes. I don't think that clearly they weren't in like an accident or anything.
Right.
So my gut reaction is this is probably just a single can of Loco, probably a 4 Loco a piece.
I would have to probably concur with that. We just don't have a lot of information here either to know the full story, but to have the gall to take your pants off in the back of a cop car, that's definitely at least a loc, in my opinion.
That's insane to do.
Right.
Don't follow suit here. If you're getting arrested with your significant other for drunk driving, then maybe just
now they're split up in a jail cell. They can't get frisky. You know, their night could have ended pretty good. They probably could have got like a nice, comfortable home, some candles. Some Barry Manilow ripping on the
as long as they have a safe ride home, from the jail itself once they're released.
For sure. But whatever. Yeah. I think a 4 to 6 Loco is kind of what I'm thinking for both of them. Honestly, I think this is just a situation where. They're probably doing something in the car, which, trying to get some love in. So he's probably swerving.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. So she's probably.
because maybe that's where it started.
I think it's where it started. Like, I think she's already getting frisky with him,
Right. They were both feeling good already, and they were trying to do some business.
The thing was already rugged when he got in the cop car. It was straight rigid.
And that's actually, now that you mention it, the fact that he could still perform.
That's why I'm thinking it's a little lower on the Loco.
He's definitely lower on the low.
Because if you're at a 12 Loco, that thing's probably not going to work.
No,
you're gonna have a soft
checked
guy.
out already.
It's looking down at the floor the whole time. So, 4 to 6 Loco on that one.
Bang the gavel.
All right, today we're here with Tim from Broken Bat Brewery. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, Russ, I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. So, can you give us a little bit of origin story about Broken Bat and how you guys got started?
Yeah, for sure. So my business partner, Dan McElwee, and I have been best friends since the reading carpet back in first grade. And Dan's got really into homebrewing back in college and post-college, and probably had a few too many homebrews one night and came up with the bright idea to open up a tap room. And April of 2017, man, we opened the doors for the first time down in the 3rd Ward, and pitched our wagon to the baseball theme and making good craft beer, and it's been just a wild ride ever since.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know we're pretty regular to the 3rd Ward area. The name Broken Bat, where did that come from?
Yeah, so that was just a passion of mine in life as baseball. The game of baseball. I gave up my playing days quite a while ago, but I figured it was kind of one of the ways I could stay connected to the game that I love, and Dan's passion obviously is brewing beer, and we just sort of combined two things that we really care deeply about, and felt like we could create a little niche and a brand around it, and Broken Bat was born.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I know we're both Brewers fans and obviously Milwaukee fans. We're both from the area. But yeah, we love the brewery. A lot of people have been requesting you guys to come on, so we're really happy to have you today.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Is there any new beers we need to look out for Broken Bat?
Yeah, so we're taking it easy here for the next couple of months, just with the whole pandemic and everything going on. But our anniversary is in the spring, so the first weekend in April is our anniversary, and we've got some really cool stuff already in the works for that. So we're coming out with a concession stand smoothie sour series, which we're very excited about. So I know the slushy smoothie style Berliner Weiss are huge right now, so we've got a really cool concept around some of those coming out. We've got a couple of barrel aged beers that we come out with every April. We've got a Cracker Jack stout called Murderer's Row that we've had aging for about 11 months now, and then we do a double barrel-aged version of that called the Beast, which is also coming out in April. So a lot of fun stuff coming up in the spring here.
Nice, that's awesome. I know we can't wait for this COVID thing to be over, just to go out to breweries and see music again. I'm so sick of it, honestly.
I know it. It's just like Groundhog Day every day, but feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We just got to get there.
Exactly, and that was another question I was going to ask you. I know with COVID things have been weird, but is there anything going on currently at the brewery?
Yeah, so we've got a really cool space. We moved down to the 5th Ward back in April of this year. And we've got an indoor wiffle ball field that we are very excited to have up and running. We got leagues running out of there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and it's also available for rental Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's been a lot of fun having bachelor parties, birthday parties. We've had a couple of corporate outings down there, get the shirt and ties down there, hacking some wiffle balls. But it's a child game that, just kind of brings the kid out of everybody, and it's a lot of fun to have some beers, play some wiffle ball. And then, we'll get the live music back and going when it's all approved by the health department and, things are feeling a little bit better. But, yeah, for now, the wiffle ball field is definitely a pretty cool little hidden gem that not a lot of places can offer here in the southeast Wisconsin area.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can't wait. We'll definitely come down there and throw some wiffle ball. We'll definitely play ourselves. But before we let you go, we always ask our guest just a few questions to find out how Wisconsin you are. There are things that you may or may have not have done, so we'll find out how you fare.
Oh, okay. I'm a little nervous now, but yeah, fire away.
No. So the first question we got: what do you consider to be up north Wisconsin?
Oh, that's a great question. I think anything north of kind of the greater Green Bay area. So I think once you kind of hit that split where you can go, Door County or Marionette off of 43. But yeah, anything north of kind of the Green Bay, greater Green Bay metro area.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's kind of how we are. I'm a little further north. I usually say like north of Wausau, which is quite a ways up there, honestly. But yeah, no, that's awesome. So the next question I got for you, have you ever driven a snowmobile? No,
I have not. I've never really had the opportunity to. I would love to someday, but no, that has not been one of my winter activities. I'm usually sitting on a bucket out on the lake ice fishing, but no, would love to someday, but I have not yet.
Awesome. So the next one, I know with Broken Bat, have you ever tailgated at a Brewers, Packers, or a Badgers game?
Oh, gosh, yeah. More than I can count for the Brewers. My family and I, we were lucky enough to have the Milwaukee package for season tickets. My dad's a resident of Green Bay growing up, so it took 43 years, but he got put on the wait list when he was born, and we've had season tickets, a lot of tailgating up there. And then I'm a Marquette grad, so I got to be honest with you, I'm not a big Badger guy.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm not.
That's okay.
So no Badger games yet. Just do my Marquette hoops thing. But yeah, plenty of tailgating in my past.
All right. So the next question I got for you, being from like the Milwaukee area, have you ever closed Wolski's? Oh yeah. I know Bernie personally. He's a dear friend of another one of my buddies. His dad and Bernie are real tight. So yeah, I've closed down Wolski's a few times. Put the sticker over in Ireland for him too when I was over there back as a college student. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've done that in my younger day. I don't know if I could do it now, but
no, I think those days are in my past as well. But yeah, you're not a true Milwaukeean until you close Wolski's.
Oh, I agree. So the next question I got: have you ever hit a deer?
Yes, I have grazed a deer. Thankfully, car and deer were okay, but yeah, it was not the most fun thing to happen. But thankfully, both came out pretty much unscathed. So yeah,
that's good. I mean, a lot of the people we've had on here have done some damage. I mean, there's one guy who took out like a whole family. So I know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got a couple of squirrels and chipmunks and bunnies on my resume, but I do my best to swerve out of the way, man. I'll do anything to try to save those little guys. But yeah, the deer can catch you off guard for sure.
So have you ever been to Summerfest, and did you have a favorite memory or a favorite band you saw there?
Yeah, for sure. Love Summerfest. I saw, man, on a small scale, on a super tiny small stage, I saw a band called Night Phoenix, and they were just awesome. A teeny tiny little band from Minnesota, and we ended up becoming pretty big fans of them. And then I saw Eric Church there. I've seen Tom Petty a bunch of times. Saw Weezer, Guster, OAR. I mean, you name it. I'm 33, so I'm probably aging myself a little bit. But anything from that like 2000, mid 2000s era and on, I've probably seen him at Summerfest at least once.
It's pretty cool because we're the same age, so we're definitely in the same boat right now. I saw Guster and Weezer there as well. So
that's awesome.
All right, so the next one I got, is there a Broken Bat beer that you recommend using with a beer brat?
Yeah, we've got a Pilsner out right now, actually, that we've done plenty of grilling with. It's called Golden Sombrero. And you chop up some onions and throw that in the pot and get the brat soaking. It's a pretty good dynamic, and then you crack a nice hazy IPA with it when they're done, and there you go. That's your afternoon.
That sounds pretty tasty. And so the next question I got is, other than Broken Bat, is there another brewery tour, or a tap room you recommend going to? Obviously, Lakefront's kind of the one. We just had Russ on the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lakefront's kind of got the market cornered there with the brewery tour. But, man, there's so much good beer in the city right now. First and foremost, I'd love folks to check out our old tap room. There's actually a new brewery in there called Wizard Works. And Chris and Jenny and his team have definitely kind of had the bad luck of moving in right when this all hit. But New Barons over in Walker's Point, kind of the Bayview area, they've got an awesome little tap room. John and his team make some incredible beer. Mobcraft's got just an awesome tap room, too. If you like the wilder, kind of funky, louder stuff. But, man, I'll be honest with you, there's just a lot of really, really good beer being made by really good people in the city, so you can't really go wrong right now.
Milwaukee's the best right now. You got like City Lights. You guys are just loaded up with breweries. There's like a new one popping up, like really good, like Urban Harvest. There's Black Husky. Mm-hmm. There's just so many great ones.
Yeah, and there's more coming too. We've got a couple of tap rooms in the works that are coming. So there's no shortage of good studs here in the Milwaukee area.
All right. Before I let you go today, I got one more question for you. Have you ever been to a supper club, and do you recommend one to the listeners?
I have. Unfortunately, could not tell you what the name of it was. It was up near the Rhinelander area. But yeah, I've been to a supper club, man. You got to do the brandy old-fashioned sweet. Get a couple maraschino cherries in there, enjoy yourself. But it's an experience. I can't recommend it enough if people haven't done it. It's just, again, one of those things. To claim you're a Wisconsinite, you got to have a dinner at a supper club.
I have to agree with that. It's hard to explain to somebody who's from out of state like what a supper club is, because they don't quite understand. But yeah, that's awesome. But Tim, we appreciate your time today, and we really thank you. Thanks for the 10-15 minutes you gave us, and we can't look forward to coming out there once COVID's over.
You bet, brother. Thanks so much for having me, Russ. Have a good weekend. We'll talk soon, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. And we'll talk some brew next time we're in there.
Hey, that's music to my ears.
Sounds good. You have a good one.
All right. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, that concludes this episode of Wisconsin Drunken History Podcast.
If you enjoyed this vulgar display of Wisconsin, please like and subscribe on whatever streaming platform you prefer. And remember to hit the bell on YouTube to be notified when we release new content.
Also, if you have any suggestions or ideas for future episodes, please send us an email at widrunkenhistory@gmail.com or head over to our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Thanks again for listening, and remember, as always,
watch out for deer on your way home.